craftsman, where the tall timbers grow with a chisel like a warrior's spear. Every cut brings the old world near. Hear the Asher in the turning tree, Odin whispering, let creation be. From the north, let the shavings fly under watchful gods in the winter sky. Thor's hammer roars with the spinning ring, Freya's grace in every curve you bring. By fire and frost, let the wood come alive. Benjamin turns the tales of the Viking tribes. Of the Viking tribes. Ash and oak hold the songs of the bold, echoes of the battles that the skalds once told. Tools sing soft in a rhythmic glide as the grain shows the secrets it tries to hide. Loki's laughter in the chips that fall, but your craft stays true through it all. From the north, let the shavings fly under watchful gods in the winter sky. Thor's hammer roars with the spinning ring, Freya's grace in every curve you bring. By fire and frost, let the wood come alive. Benjamin turns the tales of the Viking tribes.
Oh, right. Of course I'm dancing, Michael. Of course I'm dancing. All right, let's get this show on the road. Right. So, the world is crazy. I don't want to talk about it, but nature is beautiful. Look at this piece of ash. Right. Good morning, soldier. Sammy. So, why not have this piece of beautiful spalted ash go back to the root and just celebrate the wood? No colours besides my the bottom there, but let's go back to basic. Is non-buffoon piece of ash? I have no idea what you mean. It looks like spalted ash in my opinion. So it's got some spalting going on. So let's just, you know, get that done. Make a beautiful, beautiful bowl. Righto. Righto. So, I mean, I have other things I want to try today. I have carbide bits in my pocket, so that's wonderful. Let's see which side should be the top side. I think if this is the top side, I think this should be the top side, to be honest. Because that's why. So let's see, let's go like that, like this. That was almost squared, so that's pretty nice. This is just a center punch. Anything with a point will do. Yes, sir. Double tap that screen and see what we can do. Okay. That, I mean, that drill goes straight into the microphone. That's just perfect. Let's get that standard jaws out. Okay, another trick, right? When you put on your chuck, like this, this is another thing. Never go just clamp it into like that. Because if you do that, it's going to get really hard to get off. And sometimes it's not really possible to get off at all. So what I would recommend, just turn it by hand until it's there, until it's seated. That's it. And then, if you can see those screws here, most chucks will have screws like that. And that's just secure it to the spindle. So if you have a lathe that's able to go in reverse, I will recommend use this every time. If you don't have a lathe that goes in reverse, I would still recommend using it because it will prevent some of the chuck tightening towards the spindle. So that way it's going to be easier to get off. Okay. That arm is getting a little bit funky. Yeah. I mean, I work as a salesman and sell woodturning equipment, but another thing we do is we repair a lathe. We repair all brand of lathe, but mostly those we sell ourselves, of course. But it happens quite often that people come in with the chuck that is stuck on the spindle. They cannot get it off, and it's really stuck. It's because there are fibers in the spindle, there are fibers in the chuck, and they go something like this. But if you jerk it on, the fibers will twist a little bit, and it will interlock, and it can get stuck so bad it's really, really difficult to get up. The trick normally is shock it, put something in it, lock the spindle, and give it a hard tap, even with a hammer. That often takes care of the problem, but not always. So I have been forced to sell a new spindle to a customer because we couldn't get it off. So, hello, Sin Manifel. Welcome in. So yeah, I would not recommend jerking that on. Because it might cost you a new spindle. Okay, so that's there. It's reasonable, secure. You have news? What news? What news will that be, Michael? Let's get that in. Ooh, Michael Wilson is going to go live streaming. Hello. That's going to be... I'm looking forward to that, dude. It's going to be a good experience. Just enjoy it yourself. The first couple of streams is always where you're like trying to figure out the kinks and all that, and what will, you know, good and bad things. But just enjoy it, dude. See, my couple of first stream was bad. They're still not good, but they're better. Ooh, you did turn... Oh, soldier, I'm looking forward to that. Did we see that on the Discord? I can't remember. There's been a lot of chatter going on in the Discord, so I forget some of the things, the comments that come through. Sponsor's getting a bit anxious. Oh, is that the Strong Ink people? I'm looking forward to see what you come up with, mate. I'm looking forward to that. Let's see. That's never a good view. That's a good view. So, back to basics. Let the wood show and get some nice curlies. Look at that, curlies. Look at that. That's just beautiful, 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 beautiful timber. I love it. I mean, I'm looking forward to being there. Right? That's another thing about sponsors. They of course want something for the money. So you've got to be prepared to serve them. Oh, I'm looking forward to this ball. Anyways, just look at those shavings, right? That is just lovely, lovely, lovely. Of course, sharp gouge helps. A little bit of technique. Hello, Axel. Magic. Mark Perry. Welcome in. Ooh, that hit me right in the stomach. Hello, full-on panda. Jesus heaven heal. Hello. We are making a bowl with this beautiful, beautiful piece of spalted ash. Look at that. That's just going to be amazing, right? So I'm going to go no colors on it, except on my logo. And I'm just going to enjoy the wood. No high gloss, just basic wood turning. That's going to be awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's get the speed up quite a bit. See, this is about 1700. Get cut here so you can get this somewhat round. It's not always there. Oh, thank you for long. Just gonna enjoy the process today. I'm just gonna, go back and forget all the craziest things in the world and just enjoy the hobby, ourselves, and the beautiful of nature. That is, in my opinion, the best thing about this hobby. Being able to expose nature, how it looks. I mean, you cannot complain with the cuts, can you? Look at that. That's nice and smooth. Doesn't really need sanding. Now, I'm not really keen on those really strict balls with the flat bottom like this shape. I don't really keen on that. I like the more curvy ones. So I'm gonna go with that. Get a few push cuts to start the shape. Now, I had quite a few people lately saying they have issues making curves. Well, what you do is you raise your backhand while you push through and push it forward toward, well, not forward, towards the tailstock. So this sounds terrible. Well, Ian, that's your opinion. I cannot get a better mic. This is a really nice and expensive one, so that's fine. I'm in a helmet, so that's why. But yeah, sent me over a couple thousand pounds, and I will upgrade my audio setup. So no worries, it's all up to you, dude. Yeah, it's a German last name, but it's from my wife's side of the family because I took her last name when we got married. The reason being, I am at the opinion that married people could have the same last name. And my wife said, that's fine, but I don't want yours because she likes hers. And I said, well, I have to stand by my words, and that's why I took hers instead. So that's why it is like this. Let's try to get one cut from the bottom and up. That's not a bad cut. That crack's just surfaced. What crack? There's no cracks in it, mate. There's a crack? Where? You think that's a crack? That's just a line between the mushroom, the mycelium coming through here. That's just a battle line between the infected wood timber and the fresh timber. It looks like a crack, but it's definitely not, so good for me. I'm just going to fresh couch. It is a nice piece of ash. I love ash. It got so much character to it. Whoops. I let go with one of my hands. So there you go. That should do it. I don't have any noise cancelling filters on or anything. It is basically pure microphone. But yeah, I don't, I don't care what he thinks. I know that you guys would tell me if it was bad. The guys that I trust. Look at those shavings, by the way. But still felt fuel, yeah. I mean, these are actually the worst kind of shavings to burn in your wood stove. They're nice for kindling, but other than that, they are really bad because they're so fluffy. You want the ones broken ones, the broken and bad ones, the ones that come off the CNC and the planer. That's the one you want for your furnace. So let's see. I just need to make sure I got the right measurement here. Yeah, that's about right. Just need to make sure again. So like 51.5, that's fine. Hey, Timber. Welcome in, mate. So let's go get this nice and crispy, that corner. I think that should do. Let's just take the skew a little bit to make sure that it is nice and tight, that corner down there. Yeah, that should do. I'm going to use the vacuum at the end to finish up the outside. Just because I have it and I can, and why not? But again, I don't think this needs that much saving. Yeah, that's all right. Don't worry about it, dudes. But look at that. It's great. I got a little bit there. That's why I lost contact with my tool. But that's fine. Should be all right. Get this off. Oh yeah. Now I don't like to brag, but I like to show the surface here because I think that's just really nice. It's just controlled cuts, sharp tools. That's all. Looks shiny. It is. Hello, Nikolai. Oops, sorry. Camera. Oh yeah, that's nice and smooth. That's nice and smooth. Let's get that nice and secure. Now you don't need to tighten both sides. There's no reason for it, other than it's good to always check your fitment, the pressure after a few seconds, because wood is alive and it will move. So it will move when you put pressure on it. It will move a little bit, so you need to check that pressure. Okay. So let's just start a little bit slow. It's fine. It runs really true and smooth. And let's get this hollowed. Try to get that from another angle. Now, if you have one of those smaller lathes with a smaller motor, don't take that big of a cut, go slower and just enjoy the cut. So you'll go something like this. Get that a little bit deeper, that cut. Now, pay attention to this right now. The flute is pointing upwards. It's just about 5 minutes past on that range. Starting my cut. Let me get a point out. I'm starting my cut with this part of the hold on. With this part of the grind, the sharp edge. So that means the pressure going straight into the tool rest. If I started, with this tip first, it will skip. So that's when you start to see stuff skipping. Like the gas mask, because of the wood dust. And see, there you go, that was a skip. I didn't hit it right. And if something breaks, my face is protected. So that's why. And there's always a risk when we do wood turning that something will come flying off at some point. Let me just see how deep I am with this. Yes, my glasses make sure I can see, but let's say for instance, let me just get you straight onto my face. Let's say something falls off and hit me in the face and I just got my glasses on. Now that could break my nose, destroy my teeth, break my jawbones. A lot of things can happen, right? So it's just my eyes are protected with glasses. These are not safety glasses, so they don't protect. Putting on a face shield like this, make sure my entire face is protected, so it can hit me straight in the face. Nothing will happen, other than I need to change underpants. I have a motor here. That's normally around my waist, but I like to hang it there, just, you know, for comfort. With filters in it. There you go. That's a filter. And that filtrates the air, so I don't get sawdust or wood dust in my lungs, which help me live longer and have better health. So that's why I use a system like that, and it's well worth the money in my opinion. So yeah, glasses are fine for some work, but not for wood turning in my opinion. I would not recommend it. So that's why I just do it like I do. I think safety is really important. I even have my dust collector running at all times, just to negate some of the dust laying around the shop. And when I do take my mask off, there are less dust in the air that I'm going to be breathing in. So yeah, that's why I think they're a really good idea. And if you want a system like mine, there's a link in my description for the supplier's Alibaba page. You just talk to them and they will send you an invoice and you pay that and they ship you out the system. I make 5% commission on that, so full transparency. It's not because I'm going to make money and live off it. It's just a little something for me to promote this stuff. I would not promote it if I didn't think it was worth it. It definitely is worth it, and it's really cheap. So well worth the money, and it does everything you need to do. It is approved for use in EU as well. So you got the CE certification, which is really nice. It's going to be a little bit of a chunky ball. Let me see how deep it is now. So that's about 6 deep. Okay, I'm just going to round over the top edge here. It's going to be a nice utility ball. It's going to be something that everybody can use. And it's just going to be a nice chunky one. You can use food safe oil for it, so you can use it for soup and porridge or whatever you want. A little push cut around and around the other way. There you go. It's really nice. Now, recently I started using negative scrapers. I don't recommend it for newbies and beginners because of two things. This puppy, I was actually just a skew, but it only holds an itch for about 20 seconds. And a lot of people don't sharpen enough. So if you don't sharpen enough, it will leave a bad surface. And it's only supposed to take whiskers of hair off. And I just need to sharpen this now. So it's always a good idea to have a sharpening system ready and set up when you use the scraper, because you're going to be sharpening it all the freaking time. And that is, for me, ready now. I was just sharpening my ball gouge before the stream, and it just took me like that long to set it up to sharpen a scraper like this. So I'm just going to go over a few more passes. And you see those fine shavings? That is what you want with a scraper. That is all you're after. And we're going to go all the way until it's almost screaming there. What's the wire in the back of my head? That is the tube for my respirator. I'm just hanging it up instead of having it on my back. Because I spend many hours at the lathe every week, and I have 3 disc hernies, so that way I can be here for many hours without extra strain on my back. Nikolai, yes, I want to stay in the matrix. Shear scraper needs a fresh burr on it, so you need to sharpen off it. Yes, that's why if it's not super sharp and has a burr on it, it's not something you want to use. And that's it for this scraper. It is now dull again and it's sharpening. But I think this is good enough. Now remember the shiny surface we had on the outside before? That is now gone. You can see a little bit there still because that's not been scraped. But I was going to take care of that with sandpaper. And that's how you can get rid of the tool marks and everything. So let's see. I'm just going to go here with quick 120 grit and just sand the outside. So that's nice. Get that edge nice round over. This is as basic as a bowl as you can get. Well, we're just gonna celebrate the wood, and that's it. Nothing fancy with the shape, just basic niceness and beauty. Wear safety glasses with your face shield. Well, that's fine, I guess, but it wouldn't matter in my opinion. I mean, look at this. Look at that grain. That's just beautiful, isn't it? That is just beautiful. Let's get that with 180. I think we go 240, maybe 320. Just a couple of passes over, and I think we're good. Yeah, it's a beautiful piece of timber, that's true. So that's 240 now. I think you're not going to go much higher than this because I don't think this is going to need it. The wood itself is so nice, so malleable. I think that it's just going to be nice and beautiful. I'm just going to go with an oil on this at the end. Not sure it's going to go food save oil, a mineral oil, or I'm going to go with a Danish oil. I need a little bit more sanding, I can see that. There are some lines there, I don't know why they're there, but they are. And we don't like that, do we? No centering lines, please. Finish prepping the meal. See you at coffee time. Oh, okay. See you in a little bit there, sentimental. Okay, so that is nice. What about the outside? Does it have any sanding marks on it? It does have a little bit, so I think I'm going to go back to 180 on the outside. Again, I'm going to flip it and at the use the vacuum chuck for this. I could use a lot of other things, but you know, I like the vacuum chuck because I have it. So let's see. I think this is going to go 320, just, you know, to buff it a little bit, but that's all it's going to take. So there you go. I think that should be enough. Let's see the surface. I think this is all right. That is a nice, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of timber. So that's just great. I just saw a shadow there. I don't really like that. I think that's going to be good. Okay. That's a nice timber. So let's, you know, save the big reveal till I've done the bottom. Oops, that's the other way around. And see, that's how easy the chalk should come off after you used it. I was just able to take that off with my hand. No tools needed. If you're a wood turner, woodworker... Oh, yes, please, Michael, thank you for that. Yes, we have a nice community of woodworkers worldwide. Mostly wood turners do, but there are some who only do a little bit of wood turning. We're just a community who help each other out, share ideas, show our projects, pat each other on the shoulder, and help each other find mistakes in their work if that's something they want to. So we just help each other out, you know, find the best deals on tools and all that good stuff, right? Because, you know, look at this, gonna be nice. Let me just get the vacuum pump started. There, that's gonna start now. And let's see if we can get this to get that on. And bam. Well, that's just on there. Holding nice and sweet. Just by the power of vacuum. Vacuum! Not vacuum, vacuum! Right? So that's not what it is, right? Vacuum. That runs pretty true. What a easy thing to use. What a joy and delight that is. Just gonna go a little bit heavy with the scraper for once. See what we can do. Ha ha ha, look at that. I'm just gonna round that edge just a tiny bit. And that should be good. I can feel the vacuum coming through the wood right there. That is kind of funny. I don't think it can hold. Can't hold much though. Well, maybe we can just hold a little bit of paper. Look. There's vacuum coming through the wood, the pores of the wood. Another thing I can show you right now is this vacuum meter. I'm sorry for the angle though, but you know, maybe I can twist that a little bit. No, that was upside down. There you go, that's the vacuum meter. I'll take that paper away, put my hand over it, and you can see it's slowly climbing. Now it's just a pores of the wood itself. You can see that climbs because it's now pulling more vacuum because I'm holding it with my hands. And now even covering more areas. Look at that. That's just proof. There you go, it falls again because I took my hands off. That wood is so porous. That is just crazy. That's nice though. That is just cool. Yeah. We are not ending. We are not ending. We are not ending. That was a mistake. Sorry. My elbow hit that little button. Yeah, it's a nice system. So this is just hold on by vacuum. Hold on, I need to start heating up my my burning iron because there's nothing. There you go. That should be all right. I hope that's all right. I hope I hear it if it's not. So let's see. What was you asking? I have no idea how that works. I can explain that to you in just a sec. What's the highest you would go up to sanding bolts? Normally 240 or 220. You don't often need that much more. It's really not that often that you need anything higher than that, to be honest. So let me explain that vacuum chuck to you in a little bit there, guys. Right. Okay. Oops, the other way. Now that shows it pretty well. So here, I have a vacuum meter. This handle lets me take out the vacuum off it. So the vacuum goes through this pipe, through this yellow hose over to a suction pump. So that vacuum comes through all the way up here, through this T, through this tube. And I have adapter here on the back of my lathe. That connects to the back side of my spindle, pulls vacuum through. Now that's the adapter with a spindle in it, so now it can twist. Got a bearing in it, so now it can twist and pulls vacuum through my spindle. And on my tail, my spindle here, I have this big aluminium, just basically ball with a little, what do you call it? It's packing stuff foam in between this aluminium part here. Between this aluminium part and this. So it's just holds nice and tight. So that's just how it works. So if I turn this handle, I will shut off the vacuum, and I can take this part off. And I will show you a little bit when I'm done with the decorating. That looks like it is nice and warm now. That little. There you go. Put that hot surface away for something that's not burning. I can't burn. Now, that's burned rather deep. Now that is rather deep now. Gasket, yes, gasket. Thank you, soldier. I'll show you in a little bit. I just need to finish this part off here. Let's just sand this a little bit now. Hope that's enough. It was almost enough. I think that's going to be alright anyways. Now, I'm not going to do much more to this. I'm just going to keep it simple for once. So just simple. Now, when I... Hold on. When I turn the handle up here now, I will take the pressure off. And this comes off straight. And there you go. You can see there's a hole through. And that's how it holds. I can even put the ball on like this. Just turn that handle again. And it's there. And that's actually pretty sensitive. So that's really impressive. It's not normally like that. So that's how that works. There you go. Pretty easy stuff when you... It's pretty simple stuff. I mean, that's what I meant. It's pretty simple. The only downside, these systems are not that cheap. Okay, let's get some oil on this. Now, I want something that is nice and drying. And I know I have it out here. I don't have a lot of this stuff left. last of the Danish finishing oil from Hampshire Sheen. I don't have a lot of that stuff left, but it's just an awesome finish, unfortunately. Are you guys ready to see the grain? Now, this is supposed to be food contact safe and toy safe. Toy safe, I probably wouldn't, but you know, it's each to their own. But let's just see if I can get this opened. That's probably going to be the last time that's going to be in use ever. If it's even. I think that's still alright. Let's get some. No, that's not alright. That's fully coagulated. That sucks. Let's just use it anyway and just wipe off whatever comes off. But look at how this wood turns out. That's straight for the bin, that tin. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I'll just get some better lightings in. I forgot to turn on the main lights. There we go. That's a beautiful wood, isn't it? That's just some nice, beautiful timber. Let's get that. Ben's rubbing that ash. Yeah, I'm rubbing my wood. That tin of oil, it's way past its due date. And that's unfortunate. But look at that. It took like an hour, start to finish, with everything. So that's not too bad. Make like a batch of those and it should be all right. This oil is not on expiration date, that is for sure, because I just used it this week. Look at that up there. Look at this. That's beautiful. There's just so much going on with this piece. Now, this is a mixture of tung oil and linseed oil. It's called Danish oil. And I love this finish. This gives us a nice matte finish when it's dried. And it's extremely durable. It's not something I would eat soup from, but I wouldn't have any issues eating candy, chips, or what have you. All them dried goods. That's just awesome. Look at that. What's that? How did that occur? Is that on the outside as well? It is. Look at that. That's just nice. Just take the excess off after a little while to make sure I don't have any runners or anything. The wood have accepted what it wants, and I can always recoat it later. Now, thank you, Henning. This finish is something that hardens, so you don't want too much on it first time around. You just make sure that the wood takes what it wants, and after that, it's done. Well, that's beautiful. That's nice. Alright, I'm really happy with that. Just a basic board. Thank you, Henning. Nice little logo. So all is well. Thank you, Ash. Alright, let me put that aside and let's make something else, right? Because, you know, 1 hour is not something, it's not enough, is it? Oh yeah, by the way, this spring, the woodturning club that I'm teaching at have decided to have a spring course as well, from in about a month's time, I think it starts, and it's going to be until summer. So I think there's still rooms in that class. Manage polishing wood, simple vid, satisfying. Yes, yes, yes. We like to polish the wood. Polish the wood, right? Let me show you something else that vacuum chuck can do. Oh, this is just a raw piece of timber. Put it up there. Put suction on it. Make sure. Oh, I turn it off too. I'll try that again. Put that on there. Put suction on it. Now this is rotten. I don't think it will. Nah, it's not going to hold this piece. But let's take another piece, just a piece of maple. Put that on. That holds. That holds, and it pulls a lot more vacuum than the other ball I did. So I could actually work with it like this, and just turn a ball like this. It is a bit of drive from Ohio. Yeah, true. True. Once a week, yeah, it's going to be too much. That's for sure. But if anybody is in Denmark and watching, there is a chance of that. This blank is, I think, 10 by 10 inches. No. 8 by 8 inches. And 2.5 inches thick. So 20 by 20 centimeters and 7 centimeters thick. Nikolai, that burl is still in the back, drying out because it's not dry enough yet for me to do. Okay, that cannot hold there. So let me just get that vacuum turned off because that adds a little bit to the noise. And let's make... Do you guys remember these? Do you guys remember these? Right? Those... my lathe is a 24-inch swing. 24-inch. And yeah, I'm not joking, dude. It's actually 24 inches swing. Yeah, my father came by yesterday, well actually the day before, and brought his wife, lovely lady. I really like her. She's a nice person, and I'm happy they are together. I have gifted her some time ago some of those whole forms some time ago. She asked me, could you make some more of those? And I was like, maybe I could probably, if you liked. If you like. Then of course I cannot let her down because why should I? The thing is, I think she's actually more after some of the smaller ones, so she could put it anywhere. But I don't think I want to do that. I want to make a nice rounded little top vase, so I can So I'm going to go like this. Now this is not the best idea. I was thinking that it's not measured by swing Jim. It is measured by how big of a piece can swing on your lathe. Actually, that's how you measure it. So another way to do it is spindle height. See, 4, 8, 12. Yeah, so it is how big of a piece that can swing on your lathe. That's how they're gonna measure that normally. There you go. Yeah, most of those tabletop lathes are either 10 or 12 inches. This is what they normally are. Normally about 18 inches long capacity. So that's why we call them 1080 or 1218. Sorry, 1018 or 1218. That's how we call them normally, those lathe. Most of them, most of them are the same exact lathe. Doesn't matter what brand you have. Most of them are just exactly the same lathe made by one manufacturer. So all the parts are normally interchangeable on most of those. Not all of them, of course, but most of those. So yeah. So if you got the 20-inch long, that's a newer model of it, like the one the Viking Sec have. That's a new model. From the same company, of course. Let's get that back there. Get that camera up. I think that's going to be all right. Let's get this rounded out. You spin my head right round. And you notice I tilt the tool a little bit towards. Now I'm just over exaggerating so you guys can see where I am. The direction. And see, like that. That is always put your tool in direction returning when you're doing this, unless you're doing a pull cut like that. That's another technique, but as a beginner, always point it in the direction that you're turning. Okay. Well, it depends on what you want to do with the lathe, right? Most of you guys, you do a lot of bolts on your like 10 and 12-inch lathe, and they're really not designed for it. As you can see, the motor struggles quite a bit, and that takes some of the fun out of it. So I would recommend, if you want to make bolts, you should not go with a lathe, one of those lathes. And that's why I think it's well worth spending the extra money on an upgrade. There you go. That should do. So yeah, if you have the 10-inch, the next upgrade would be the 12-inch. It should go from a 550 watt motor to 750 watt motor. That's a big improvement. I still would not use it for ball turning, but it's a better option. I would recommend going with the Jet 1221 if you want to go ball turning, that type of motor as a minimum. I wouldn't recommend it, but as a minimum, that's the one I would use. There's also a 1420 lathe. So 14-inch swing and 20-inch length. That is a really nice lathe for ball turning, up to about 14 inches in diameter. It's a lot better. You can always go better and bigger and higher and spend more money. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I think I would go with a lathe like that. It's still 750 watt motor, but the motor composition is a lot different, so it's just so much stronger. So it's well worth it in my opinion. So yeah. There you go, that's nice. Make this something like an amphora shape wise. Okay, just find that shape a little bit with some bad scraping, just to remove the nice surface I already put on it. See if that's going to be alright. I have the center machinery from Harbour Freight. I'm happy with it for now. That's all that matters, really. That is all that matters. If it works well for you, that's fine. If you feel like it's struggling, then it's time for an upgrade. But if you're happy and it does what you want it to do, keep turning and have fun. I think that's a nice shape for an ash piece, not ash. Oh, that was stuck. That's good, though. That's nice. Let's get that in there. Let's see. I have this actually. Yeah, that would do. That would do. I just need to make sure that I got my there's somewhere to start from, that bit. Go. Hello. Sinbunata. Zibuata. If that's right. If not, sorry, but I'll try my best though. You see that
a lot of people got that thought in their head, right? They don't want to spend something more on it than need be, but then they end up, often what I see is they end up replacing that lathe within a year or two. There's nothing wrong with that, because the salesperson makes money from that, and that's good. But it would be better if you didn't have to, wouldn't it? So yeah, what I do when I try to sell a lathe to someone, and I sell a lot of lathe, I tell them, let's figure out what lathe that will fit your needs as you expect them to be, and then if you got the money for it, go one step up, not 2 or 3 steps, just one step above, because what often happens is you're going to have a crazy idea some bet, then it's not Dennis. Oh yeah, thank you, mate. Thank you. And I haven't had one yet. I came back to me and said, I'm really, really annoyed that I got that upgrade that you recommended. But I have had a lot of people come back to me and says, I'm happy I got that upgrade that you recommended. You were right. So yeah, it's not a matter of getting more money out of the people, because that would be a bad sales technique. Because that way you're just going to sell them one thing once and they will never come back. It's a matter of getting the right lathe for what they think they want. So yeah, so they don't come back and buy another lathe in a year or two. I mean, yeah, it's a bad way to make money, but actually it's a really nice way to make money, because people are starting to expect that you don't try to sell them something they don't need, and that way people come back. It worked well for us for a lot of years now, so we must be doing something right. It's getting a little bit crowded in there with all the shavings. I'm just starting out the rough cut of it. Get more speed on probably helps a little bit. So I cannot see what I'm doing in there. I am just doing it all by feel, and because I imagine what it looks like in there, and I feel with the end of my tool, and that way I got a good idea on what the inside is like. So that's about how deep I think I should go with that. I don't know, do we have timber here still? I still got about that much thickness in there. I'm just going slow and trying to feel how deep I can go. I know that the tip of it is actually directly lined off. Of course you can turn your urns. So that line here is actually where the tip of my tool is. So I kind of know how deep I am with it. Yeah, because he was struggling a little bit with this. So it was Cindy the other day with this tool. And I just want to show her, especially her, that, you know, Cindy, if you're watching this later, this is the tool you used the other day and you said you didn't have enough strength to use it. You don't need strength. You need the tool rest to be behind this point of the tool. So the tool rest shouldn't be here, because that's how you're going to fight it. If it's here and flat, you're not fighting it. You're just holding it nice and steady. I'm not using any force or any strength whatsoever. I use two hands because it's safer, but you can use just one hand and you don't have to be not, scared of it. Just go slow. And yes, I use two hands right now because I am got better control with two hands instead of one. But yeah, it's a really good tool to use. You just have to have the tool rest behind that point. All that. It's just a nice tool to use. You don't use pressure, you just make sure it got contact and it will turn nicely, easily. Small shavings, that's the trick with carbides. No hero cuts, no fast pace. And it should be alright. Just take your time with it, and you can actually do a lot of things with it. Now this part here is actually feels pretty good. I'm happy with that. I'm getting to the end of the reach with that tool. Now remember, that tool come in the 3-piece set, right? So you got the YT3, YT2, and the YT1 is what they call. So this is just for curving on the inside and just small work. You cannot reach that deep with it. This one is for the next part that you cannot get with this part, and that is for the rest. So this part is until about here. This one is from here to here, and that one is the rest of it. So that's how you should think of them. Now I'm going to go further in with this so I can move the tool rest a lot closer. And it's the same principle again. That line should never be crossed with the tool. If you do, you're going to get in trouble. Now I can feel I have a rim there, and that's the way I'm going to work from. So a little bit closer with that. And again, the tip of the tool is actually in line with that. So you know, kind of know where you are. Work my way until I can reach the reach limit of this tool, and it's getting close. And I'm just going to make sure that I have a somewhat of an even wall. I didn't say wall thickness, I said wall. You don't have a grinder, you don't have a benchtop grinder. Well, the patterning tool, you can just take your angle grinder, dude. Just, you know, nice and steady, just hold it to the side, and that should be doing just fine. If you don't have a benchtop grinder, any benchtop grinder will do. You can also use a whetstone, but you know, you're going to go back to that all the time because a tool like that holds it for about 10 to 20 minutes ish. So now you know what you're going to be doing for the next many hours every time you're in the workshop sharpening by hand, unless you have a whetstone grinder. So then the parting tool, you can just basically take a file to it. Abdul Mushana Bao Bao. Mushana Bak Bao Bao. That's some hell of a name. Welcome in, whoever you are. Some people get really creative with those names, I must say. Okay, so that feels nice, and I'm about here. It feels I got just about even wall thickness, it feels like. So I'm about here, and I think the rest of it I can do with the straight tool. Yeah, as long as you get replacement from it, there's nothing wrong with all of them off Temu. Just make sure you get read the descriptions and you get a nice handle for it, unless you're going to make your own. Because some of the Temu sets I've seen, the handles are crap, like cheap aluminium tubes. They work, but you know. The handles are crap. I would recommend get a nice handle on it, make your own, and you're good. You're fine. Yep. So that's nice. Works well. It's like a flute. Do. Mark, are you in the Discord with us? If you join the Discord, if you're not there, Mark, I'm not sure if you. I can't remember though. I'm sorry, I forget stuff. I mean, you can ask all the questions and get all the notes there as well. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just an app on your phone. To be honest, you can just use it as a phone app. So let's see where we are regarding thickness. Oh, the sound's coming off. It's nice. The thing is, I cannot see down there. Okay, so we got a lot down at the bottom. But here on the side, we got between, oh, out here it's got 4.5, 5 mil. So I've even got more to take off still. Okay. That's a lot of material got removed there. See all that shaving coming out. That was a lot. That was a lot. Might need to go back a little bit with this tool. Okay, so that was that. Might need to rotate this carbide soon. Right now I'm just feeling the side. It feels even there with slightly drop one, the high spot. Let's see how well that is. I'm just get some tools to rotate that carbide because that is. Let's see if I have one that is small enough, because they are extremely small. Those little screws. No, that was not good. Maybe next draw. No, I know I have it. It's just a matter of it not disappearing from me, because there are other stuff in that drawer. There it is. Now, when I rotate this, I'm never sure if I've rotated enough, so that way you can just mark the side. You don't know if you can see that, but I marked it a little bit of. I still got something in there. I'll get the point and see if I can get that. Oh, it's extremely important to be careful with this little screws, because it doesn't take a lot to damage it, and that way you cannot get it out. Now that should be a nice fresh cut. Yeah, it's still a little bit uneven though, but you know, it's getting a lot better. So let's see. I think I can get it now. Okay, so that's there. I'm trying to get that bottom part worked on. This is about the reach of the tool limit, I would say. I wouldn't recommend going much deeper than this. It's about 12 centimeters deep. So that would be roughly 5 inches. I wouldn't recommend going any further than that, and if you do it, just take good care. Go nice and slow. You've got contact with the timber down there, so you know where you are, what you're working with. And if you get vibrations, you're probably working too hard, going too hard on it. So let's see where we are with the shavings out. Get a nice feel for it. A lot of shavings, which is nice. It's a lot more even now. Still not perfect though, but you know, it's never going to get perfect down there, is it? Probably could. Ooh, this is thin. About 2.5. This is really thin. Am I reading this right? Yeah. That is thin. Really thin. Okay. So I'm thinking about there with about here. I think there should be a chance that if I go like this. No, it's not possible, is it? Still 2.5 mil thick, it says. Probably right. Probably right. So let's see what the bottom looks like a little bit. I mean, that's not too bad, really. And just get that one more. Little love tab there. Maybe if I go in reverse, that could help me a little bit. And I still need to figure out a better lighting situation. I know what I should get. It's just annoying. Okay, almost there, peeps. Almost there. So that's about it. Yeah. I think I'm happy with that. I think I'm happy with this. Oh, I was wondering why it wouldn't cut. That's because it's running the wrong way. There you go. And that. Now I just need to sand this. And I got some new abrasives that I want to try. Well, I have been trying it, so I know how it works. Oops, let's go in reverse. It's a mesh. It works really well. So I'm just gonna see how long this piece lasts, because is it worth it? Like, €8 for piece that is double that size, in a pack. Sorry, that's double this size. And you got all the grits from, I think it goes all the way down to 60, 120, and all the way up to 800. I'm never going to use the 60, I think. But it's nice range of abrasives. And let's see if it's actually last as long as I think it should. I think it does all right. That's a reasonable good job. That's a nice piece, isn't it? I think it's got a nice shape to it. So that's 180, 240. And we're going to use some colors on this, right? I think we are. I think that should be well worth it. I mean, this looks pretty good. I think it does. What do you guys think? I think this looks pretty good. It's a nice piece. Okay. Thank you, soldier. Okay. So let's see how deep we are with this 12. So that's about there, which means got plenty of room to do a foot. Now, being that it's done sanded, and it just needs some, probably I think I should do some colouring on this, right? Just a little bit of colouring. I can now take my attention towards to the foot. I don't know what this. It's just so dull now. Want to try a vase now? Yeah, it tends to go like that, doesn't it? As long as you have the right tools to do the hollering, I think you should be really good to go. I believe in you. You should be able to do that.
Ah, mate, nah, me and Skew are no friends. No friends to Skew. I know enough, and I can use it reasonably, but I'm not that good at it. Like, taking a small cut of outside of this, I would be scared as hell. I have several bark maple logs. Yeah, just try not to use the pith. The pith, the center of it. It would create issues. So yeah, try not to if that's possible. Okay, so what color should we use on that? Now I'm gonna go colors on this because I think that's nice. I would seal it, farmer. I would seal that. I have some something called Celtalac. 2 coats of that. You put something in it, you slosh it around. There you go. Celtalac. If you put some in there and you slosh it around, leave it for 24 hours or so. It's do that 2 times, and you should be good to go. Should be nice and waterproof. that's nice. That is nice. Now, trust the process, please. Right, just trust it. Da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum. I think this is cool. I think this is cool. Need to drop down to, I think, about 120 here on the neck. Clean it up. Dreschler? Ja, genau, Pavel. But I speak English, so yeah, wood turning. No, I'm from Denmark, sir. I know Dressler. Dreschler is German for it. But you know, that's about all the extent of all the German I know. I'm really bad at it. Thank you. Thank you, Sin Manifel. I'm just gonna take that little color off and burning off that came on the piece. What is this? This is a vase. It's a hollow form. It's between 3 and 5 millimeters all the way wall thickness. Except the bottom, of course. Right now I'm just sanding the rim here, just to make sure that it is got the same love and care that the rest of it got. So where are you from, Pavel? It doesn't look German, that name. Eastern Europe, I would guess. Nothing wrong with that. My wife's family is from there. So let's get some. So that's the lacquer. I want sanding sealer. Do I even have more on the tin? That is empty. No, I don't think I have that anymore. That's a shame. So let's use this one. What is this? So let's get this on. Gonna use a foam cloth to apply it. So just sanding sealer. I'm just giving it a nice even coat if I'm able to. As even as I can. Good morning. What's up, Steve? Steve from My Honey's Handmade. Does a lot of things on his shed. Wood turning, woodworking, 3D things and stuff and lasers and... So yeah. How you doing, mate? Okay. You okay? All the things he does. Hi, Smokes. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing well. Get a little bit of sanding sealer on the rim here as well. You guys ready for a full day of Sawdust Mafia wood turners or woodworkers? Oh yeah. I can't even remember who's gonna go after me. It's probably you, isn't it? Steve? Aren't you the next one to go live, if I'm not mistaken? As soon as that's dry, it's just a really simple vase. Nothing too fancy about it. Paper towel over the surface, just make sure that is nice and... Might will, okay. So the Wacky Shack's probably going to be the next one up. Yeah, I don't mind your that jokes. I mean, you haven't even started yet, have you? My kids are starting to get tired of mine, so that's just it's just how it is, really. So now it's just a matter of drying and waiting. And I didn't have a lid on my drink today. That's stupid. Ah, that was good. That was really nice. Wait, I had my hairdressers from the 60s. Hairdryer. No, I haven't received it yet. It will arrive at some point. I'm not too fussed about that. But I'm looking forward to it though. And my students, I think the last one will be done on Tuesday, so I can send him over the balls I promised him. You did, yeah. If you lift the Helgen light closer, it would dry quicker. It's not giving off any heat really. It's minuscule. Yeah, I saw some of it as well. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. Now, I'm just going to give it one more coat. I think it should be alright. LED then, yeah. It's really nice, those lights. And they are, well, they're not cheap, but they're not expensive. I think we charge about 60 or 70 US dollars for it. About 60, no, about 80 US dollars, about 60 or 70 euros. So they're not bad. It's just a swan neck LED light, and yeah, they're really nice. Can the link to the next tuning session be popped on here? What do you mean? The next one's going to go live? That's the Whacking Shack. So yeah, if you got his link, you can pop that in. I think Michael should be able to. I think Michael is the only mod I have, to be honest. I don't really have a lot of mods. I don't really bother about it. But yeah, you should be able to pop a link in here. I think that's about it, really. That's good now. That hairdryer does wonders. It's a nice matte finish on this, isn't it? So let's just pat this off. Oh, I almost hit it with my Just gonna cut off the extra little thing there. And I should brand it. It sits well, that's good. Okay, so that's heating up now. I'm just gonna get the bowl that we made. I say we, I mean that I made. Because it's almost at that time now that the stream is about to end. 45 likes, 26 people here now. I mean, that is not bad. Nice, basic, simple bowl. I am really happy with. It's been a while since I did things without colors and everything. Just, you know, just my logo. And that's just, well, look at the grain in this. All right, let's go see here. Right, I haven't seen that. Look at that piece over here. Look at that. It's really nice. I can't even find a single flaw in this piece. It's really nice. It's a really nice piece. Is this hot enough now? Well, it's getting there. It's almost out of lighter fluid. So let's see. Okay. So I think I can burn this now. I think it should be alright. Yeah, that's good. Get that smoke away. So there you go. It's actually smoke coming out of it. Nice little vase and bowl. I hope you enjoyed this, peeps. I did. Thank you for stopping by. Now, oh, I haven't showed you how to use that Keltalac yet. So let me just do that really quickly. Because I don't think I promised it, but you know, it would be alright just to. So it's basically, this comes from the wine industry. And I'm almost out of it, so it means I wasn't wrong buying a whole litre. So I put some in there. Hand over on top of it. Just shake it all the way. Make sure it gets everywhere. And pour the rest of it back. Because that can be reused. You don't need it. Make sure the lacquer doesn't get onto the rim or the paint job you just did, because that will leave a stain and we don't want that. And now you just leave it for 24 hours and then you repeat the process. And that's it, really. That's how it's done. Then it should be waterproof according to the manufacturer. There you go. Yeah. Nice little vase. Nice little bowl. Thank you for watching. Be good to the world. The world will be good to you. Yeah. It means a lot more saying it these days than it did like last time. But yeah. Be good to the world and each other. Enjoy yourself. Have fun. Stay for the music and enjoy yourself. Stands a craftsman where the tall timbers grow, with a chisel like a warrior's spear. Every cut brings the old world near. Hear the Aster in the turning tree, Odin whispering, let creation be. From the north, let the shavings fly under watchful gods in the winter sky. Thor's hammer roars with the spinning ring, Freya's grace in every curve you bring. By fire and frost let the wood come alive. Benjamin turns the tales of the Viking tribes. Of the Viking tribes. Ash and oak hold the songs of the bold, echoes of the battles that the skalds once told. Tools sing soft in a rhythmic glide as the grain shows the secrets it tries to hide. Loki's laughter in the chips that fall, but your craft stays true through it all. From the north, let the shavings fly under watchful gods in the winter sky. Thor's hammer roars with the spinning ring, Freya's grace in every curve you bring. By fire and frost let the wood come alive. Benjamin turns the tales of the Viking tribes. Raise your meat to the maker's hand, to the craft and the clan of the northern land. Every bowl is a saga born, carved from dusk and shade till morn. From the halls of the gods let the echoes ring of the wood
wood-turning warrior and the stories he brings. Let the world hear the call from the workshop flame. Benjamin Winkle, another name. From the north, let the shavings fly under watchful gods in the winter sky. Thor's hammer roars with the spinning ring. Freya's grace in every curve you bring. By fire and frost let the wood come alive. Benjamin turns the tales of the vine.